morning, sir. Unmute ചെയ്യാം. Okay. ശരി. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay.
Good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Lakshmi.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon, Radha. So, is Aisha here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So everybody is here. Good. So all of you are ready, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
good. First, Shivakumar sir will start, then we can move on. Okay.
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. The other children also, can you hear, children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to WWF India's Eco Talk number 2. WWF India, as you know, it's an international organization, and it's WWF India part has started in 1986, and since then we are in the forefront of nature conservation and environmental protection, and to achieve that particular goal, we have adopted, since its inception itself, we have adopted an environment education division, and right now we are celebrating WWF India's 50th year in India. Also, from the very beginning, that means from the scenario of nature clubs and all, now we have developed, or we have strategized our environmental education activities into mainly 5 components, like Ek Prithvi, then Wildlife Rescues, One Planet Academy, Eco Trail, and volunteer engagement program. And out of this, the Eco Trail, which is one of the most important tool of our environmental education activities, is the one which gives a real experiential learning to all our students and all our target groups. Not only the students, for the target groups, for any target groups of any walk or any age group or any discipline. So we consider the nature camps as well as eco trails as a very good tool to provide an opportunity for the person, whether it is a student or a young one, or a lady or gents, or an adult man or an old man, but everyone, whenever these people come to close contact with the vicinity of nature, they will see, enjoy, and they will imbibe that particular feeling, that experience to their life, and from there they will learn what is nature and why it is to be protected, and how I should be protected it, or you should be protected it, and how this nature, mother nature, its values and services plays a very important role in our life. That on 29th July 2019, we had a very good eco trail to the Myristica swamps, which are strictly endemic to Western Ghats of South India. At the Cormorant forest, and then your friends they came to see the peculiarity and uniqueness of the Myristica swamps, and they explored it very well. They enjoyed, they learned, and I hope they also had a very good fun time also during that trip. So that's all about this eco talk. And now the floor is yours, and Nidhu Miss, you can take over.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So good evening, children. Good evening, sir. So as Kumar sir was telling, this is one of the unique experiences that we have in life. And as a teacher, as a biology teacher, when we do B.Ed, we always learn about the importance of learning by doing. That is, learning things by actually doing it. And I think in Lekol Chembaga, we try to do it as much as possible. So this trip to the Myristica swamps was one of the events like that, where the children go to experience nature, like for one hand experience or the first hand experience. And I'm sure they will all remember this event for their whole life. It will be a very good journey, or it will be a very good memory for them. So I'm very happy that I could be part of that. And some of the children, they are here to present some of the experience which they had, and also some scientific facts about that. So I would like to invite our dear principal, Mr. Joyam Verghese, to say an introduction to the things, or to say a few words. So please say a few words, sir. Mr. Joy, sir, our principal.
Mr. You please switch on your video also. All of you.
I am not able to understand how it is, because you are the host and I have switched on my when you asked me to switch on the audio, I had switched on. When I when I joined itself, I had switched on my audio and video, but I don't know how I have to do it now. I'm not very familiar with the Zoom thing. What should I do, sir? Any idea? I don't know what to do, sir, to switch on my video. As far as I am concerned, I have switched on everything here. When I joined itself, I had switched on my audio and video option. Is there anything that I should do? Then please guide me, sir. I will do.
Just a minute. Teacher, any one okay?
Okay, now I think my video is on. So good afternoon, everybody, one more time. And since I was not the host, I couldn't do it, I think. I was trying. I'm not very sure. I'm very familiar with the Zoom platform because we are using Microsoft Teams for our classes. So that was the problem. Anyway, thank you, Srivakumar sir, for once again making me in the video mode. So as I was saying, we try to follow this learning by doing thing maximum in Lekol Chembaga, and WWF has always helped us for doing that. And like whenever we ask Shivakumar sir or Ranjan sir for some help, they're always ready with everything. And for this particular project, we had actually done this as part of the Wipro project. We wanted to explore this Myristica swamps. So as a biology teacher, I would like to take my students maximum outside to the nature, and even in the campus, we try to do that, to take them outside and show them the real thing, so that they learn it by experience. Then they will understand it better, and they will learn it for life, I feel. So such things, such eco trials, and anything concerned with nature, I am very much interested in that. And as I was saying, Shivkumar sir has always supported us for anything. And when I asked him about the Myristica swamp, he was very, very helping, and he arranged this. And he and Ranjan sir also came with us. So when he comes, we learn a lot from him also. So that was another good thing about that. I'm sure the students also is feeling the same thing. So today he has given us an online platform for sharing our experiences with other students also. I would like to invite our dear Principal Joy sir to say a few words. So he's also another supporting factor who is always ready to support, and who gives the green signal for whatever we ask. Whenever I ask him anything, even if he's very busy, he will at least call me back, or he will give me a message. So he's always supporting. So sir, please say a few words for the children.
I have the videos of the children as well.
Okay. Shivkumar sir, can we have the videos of the children?
I think they have to themselves switch on their own video modes.
Oh, okay.
Radha, Mithun,
Radha.
and yeah.
Aisha, please.
I don't have the option to on the video. I just have the microphone option.
Oh, you're joining from a phone, Aisha?
No, ma'am, laptop.
Oh, but then you don't have the video.
No, ma'am, I'm not getting that icon.
It's there because we have promoted you as a panelist also.
It should be down in the left side, Aisha. In the leftmost corner, down, there is a video, start video, stop video, like that. Did you see that, Aisha?
No, ma'am, I'm only having a microphone option.
Having the microphone. Then maybe you should start again, I guess.
Should I try rejoining?
Yeah, maybe she can do that, right, Shivkumar sir? Is it like that? Maybe she can join again with the video mode on.
Just let me check the panelist. Yeah, Aisha is not there. Yeah, just a minute. Aisha, now you can try.
Aisha, can you try now?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Okay, then you can switch on the. Yes, we can see Aisha now. Okay.
Lakshmi, please switch on your.
Yeah, Lakshmi. Oh, Lakshmi is messaging something. She's also having. She lost the unmute and video options, is what she is saying, sir. From in the chat. So maybe she should also rejoin.
No.
No. Lakshmi, what is the problem? Suddenly you lost the mic and the camera.
She was there, no.
Yeah, it was there. Then how can it go? It showed rejoining and then it went. Okay. So, okay. So, Shivkumar sir, what should she do? She is saying that it is showing rejoining and then went.
Ma'am, now it came.
Okay, Lakshmi. Okay. Okay. So, Joy sir, please.
Yeah, the most beautiful people of the earth is here. Yeah. Online. Dear Mr. A.K. Shivkumar, the Senior Education Officer, WWF India, Kerala State Office. Niturani ma'am, who is a keen and a passionate person as far as nature observation and nature promotion, nature conservation is concerned. And these young children, Radhaji Nair, Mithun Ishwar, Lakshmi Vinod, Aisha Azir. So good evening to all of you, and I'm glad that such an event is taking place. I thank Mr. Shivkumar and Neetu ma'am for inviting me to this event. It's a pleasure to listen to young children promoting nature, telling the others to conserve nature for the next generation, not only for the next generation, but for ourselves also. Now, when I look at myself, I do not know, I must be held guilty of, or the kind of people that I have, those who have been, say, those who have spent almost 2 generations, we have been mischievous in our planning and in our deliberations. So that must be the reason for all this global changes and the climatic changes, etc. So now don't blame me and don't blame the senior people like me for such a scenario that you are in. I have a son in Canada. He tells me that during this time, normally it is supposed to be -10, -15. But then he says now it is the beginning of January, and the temperature is around 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. So that is a great concern, because there is a kind of climatic changes that that can be felt every year. I think we have a mammoth responsibility to take care of the sustainability of the nature as it is. So without a kind of a coordinated life, or without a kind of an effort, coordinated effort from every one of us, I think we will all become extinct within, say, about 30 or 40 years. So we are actually harming our own environment. We are actually consuming more than what we require, and thus affecting the environment. In most of the cities, we see the skyscrapers, Varka Saudhangal, but then we don't have sufficient nature left around. Though we have a lot of projects planned by the government, but then there are lobbies which do not allow such kind of things to happen. We need eco warriors. So I'm so glad our 4 children from Lekol Champaka, representing the whole of Lekol Champaka, will be strongly promoting the nature conservation so that it becomes a blessing for every one of us. I'm so glad that the WWF India is providing a platform for these young children to express their views and concerns for nature conservation. Mr. Shivkumar, thanks a lot. And thank you, Neetu ma'am, for inviting me. I'm so proud of my children joining here, Radhaji Nair, Mithun Ishwar, Lakshmi Vinod, and Aisha Azir. I only wish many more such children join this brigade so that we take this fight along. I call them eco warriors. I wish you all the best. Thanks a lot. May God bless you.
Thank you, sir. So now I think we can start with the presentations. So these 4 children, they had the first-hand experience of the Myristica swamps, and they'll be telling you about the physical characteristics, the fauna and the flora, and also their personal experience, what they felt there. So I think we can start with Radha. She'll be talking to you about the physical characteristics. So over to you, Radha. You can present now.
the slide.
Yes, Radha, we can see. You can start the slideshow.
So today I'm going to talk about the physical characteristics of Myristica swamps and what we have seen there. So what are wetlands? Wetlands occur where the water meets the land, and they also include the marshes, rivers, and lakes, and flooded forests, etc. And wetland is found in almost all countries, every climatic zone, from the polar regions to the tropics, and from very high altitudes to even dry regions. So wetlands are known as the Earth's kidney because they help to absorb the harmful pollutants like carbon dioxide and nitrogen, etc. So wetlands, why should we care about wetlands? Wetlands are found everywhere and they ensure a supply of fresh water for all of us, and they also guarantee a food supply. Wetlands helps to purify and filter harmful waste from water, and also wetlands are nature's shock absorbers. Wetlands store carbon and are critical for biodiversity. They create sustainable products and also livelihood. The uses of wetlands. They help slow erosion. They also help to recharge the groundwater. It helps to prevent flooding. It also acts as buffers from storms. They filter out pollutants and sediments. They also serve as ecotourist attraction and provide habitats for many species of plants and animals. So here our journey begins. Myristica, the vanishing ecosystem. So Myristica swamps are the tropical freshwater swamps with many abundance of myristical trees, and they're the most primitive of the flowering plants on earth. These are evergreen and they are water tolerant trees, and they have dense slit roots which helps them to stay in the black, wet alluvial soil. They are also widespread across the Korean coast, and they are found in southern Kerala. This is where Myristica swamps are found. The climatic conditions present in Myristica swamps, maximum rainfall occurs at the end of May and at the end of August. And also the monthly temperature varies. The maximum temperature found there is 28.2 to 33.5, and the minimum temperature is 20.4 to 26.2. And the temperature increased at the end of February, and it reaches the maximum peak during April, May, and also it begins to decline by the end of May due to the pre-monsoon showers. Temperature again has an increase during August, September, and reaches again its peak during December. The characteristics of the soil is the soil found there is dark reddish brown, and the soil is very fertile. It consists of loam, clay, silt, and also it's medium to be granular in structure, and it's slightly sticky and non-plastic. The clay content also increases with depth, and it's moderately acidic in nature. And there are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and many organic carbon content is present lower in the soil in the forest ecosystems found in Western Ghats. The higher rainfall present there and the fluctuating water table, the characteristics of swamp may be responsible for the low levels of Na and nitrogen and potassium, which help for leaching. This is a soil which is found here. It's reddish brown in color, as you can see in this picture. The vegetation, it has a rich and varied flora and fauna, and also there are different types of vegetation like scrub forest, grasslands at even lower altitudes, and it's also one of the 25 hotspots of biodiversity which is identified in the world. The swamp forests represent stable vegetation with general regeneration potential, and also they include a pronounced canopy which you were able to see, and they support characteristic vegetation types with seasonal flooding. The soil type with continuous water table lead to the tolerant species known as Myristicaceae in the swamps having a knee root system. And this is the Canopy Forest which we saw when we went. The special features is these evergreen trees have evolved to live in the waterlogged condition, and they have special two types of bizarre looking roots. They are the knee roots and the slit roots. The former pop out from the ground and are used for exchanging gases, while the latter is used for the support the trees mechanically in the soft and unstable soil. These silt roots provide mechanical support. These are the silt roots, as you can see in this picture. They provide the mechanical support to the trees growing in the soil of the Myristica swamps. And these are the knee roots protruding from the ground, which helps the trees to exchange the gases in the waterlogged condition. So the Myristica swamp in southern Kerala, Koruthupuzha forest range is where we went, and it forms a part of the southernmost reserve forest of the state. It comes under the Trivandrum forest division. It is one of the evergreen forests of Travancore, and Myristica swamps in a special non-biotic condition to be developed, and hence these ecosystems are highly restricted and also fragmented. And the swamps in Koruthupuzha region are located along two river systems, Karala River and Ithikara River, which we are able to see. And the reflections are, the swamp play a key role in maintaining perennial stream flow and also possess a higher potential to store carbon than nearby non-swamp forests. And these swamps have the potential to mitigate the impacts of climate change. Owing to their ability to hold water all year round, Myristica swamps play a crucial role in sustaining water in the streams and also in the underground sources. And these swamps act as sponge in the landscape. The Myristica swamps host a wide range of biodiversity, many of which are found only in this ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Radha. So that was Radha with the physical characteristics, that is, what is the kind of soil and stuff like that. I hope you got some information from that. And now Mithun will be talking about the fauna there, that is mostly the birds and animals there. So over to you, Mithun.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see the, we can see Mithun. You can start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends. So, I'm here to show a presentation on the faunal diversity during the travel to the Myristica swamps. So, first of all, I would like to thank Neetu ma'am for electing me as a member of the main team. And ma'am was really very helpful and guided all of us in a safe and comfortable way throughout our journey. For all of us, it was a wonderful experience of going to the Myristica swamps. So I am here to talk about the faunal diversity. So fauna basically refers to the animals of a particular region, habitat, or geological period. So the birds found in the Myristica swamps are nest presented, but all the birds were not seen by us. For luck, we were able to see the grey Malabar hornbill. So the first category is the flycatchers. So flycatchers are the birds which have small flattened bills. So the first one is the Asian brown flycatcher, and in Malayalam it is known as Tavittupattapedian, and its scientific name is Muscicapa laterostris. And these birds have a bright white eye ring and unmarked throat and underparts. Next is the word-eater flycatcher. So the word-eater flycatcher are the birds which are named after its distinctive shade of copper sulfate blue and has a dark patch between their iris and above the bill base. Their scientific name is Eumeas thalassinus. Next is the second category of birds, that is the bulbuls. Bulbuls are the gregarious songbirds that prefer open areas and are usually seen in groups. So the first one is the red-wended bulbul, and in Malayalam it is known as Nattu bulbul, and its scientific name is Phyconotus jocosus. So the red-wended bulbul is a member of the bulbul family of the passerines, and it is a resident breeder across Indian subcontinent. And next is the red-whiskered bulbul, and in Malayalam it is called Iretta thalachi, and the scientific name is Phyconotus jocosus. And the red-whiskered bulbuls perch conspicuously on the trees and have a loud 3 to 4 note calls. Next is the hornbills, which is the Kerala state bird. And in Malayalam, it is known as Vedambal. And these are the large birds with big down-curved bills. So this was the Malabar grey hornbill, which we were able to see during the trial. And in Malayalam, it is known as Nattu Vedambal, and its scientific name is Ophiceros grises. And these birds move around in pairs or small groups, feeding on the figs and other forest regions. Next is the great hornbill, that is Malamudakti in Malayalam, and its scientific name is Buceros bicornis. And its impressive size and color have made it important in many tribal cultures and rituals. And it is found in the Indian subcontinent, especially in the Western Ghats. Next is the fourth category, that is the Drongo. The Drongos have forked tails and an upright stance. And the first one is the bronze Drongo, and in Malayalam it is known as Ledakaka. And its scientific name is Dicrurus aeneas. And these birds capture insects flying in the shade of the forest canopy by making aerial salaries from their perches. Next is the fifth category, that is cormorants. Cormorants are completely black birds that often perch on the shore or on a submerged twig with outspread wings. And the first one is the great cormorants, and in Malayalam it is known as Valya Nirkaka, and its scientific name is Phalacrocorax carbo. And they are also known as the black shag, Greek black cormorant, and large cormorant. And these birds belong to the class Aves. The next is the little cormorants, and in Malayalam it is known as Cheria Nirkaka. And the difference which is between the little cormorants and the Indian cormorants is its size. And the scientific name is Microcarboniger. And these birds are slightly smaller than the Indian cormorants. And it lacks a peaked head and has a shorter beak. And these birds are sometimes called the Javanese cormorant. And next we have the sixth category, that is the terns, and they have long pointed wings and a graceful flight. And the first one is the whiskered tern, and in Malayalam it is known as Kariyala, and its scientific name is Chirodenas hybrida. And these birds belong to the family Laridae, and these birds have strong bills and have a more positive flight than any other birds. Then we have the seventh category, that is known as Dartara, and in Malayalam it is known as Tierra Kauri, and its scientific name is Unhingidae. And these birds belong to the family Unhingidae, and there are 4 species, out of which the first 3 are very common and the last one is very rarely found. Next is the mostly found species of the Myristica swamps. So this species was the one which made us all surprised. So this is a mangrove crab, and these crabs live among the mangroves, and these animals keep much of their energy within the forest by burying and consuming leaf litters. And the next one is the millipedes. So this is the millipede which we saw during our trial to the Myristica swamp. So these feed on the decaying leaves and other dead plant matters, and these have shorter legs and move much slower than the centipedes. And then is the Annelida. So this is a leech of the class Annelida, and in Malayalam it is known as Atta. And the scientific name is Hirodinia, and leeches have been used in medicine from ancient times until the 19th century to draw blood. So during the trial, some of our friends had an experience of leeches getting onto their legs and was removed by applying salt. Then this was a frog in the Myristica swamps, and this is the mostly found species in the swampy region, and its scientific name is Anura. And last is the centipedes, and centipedes are primarily carnivorous, and they eat other arthropods, worms, and even other centipedes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mithun. So that was Mithun about the fauna of Myristica swamp. So I was remembering that many of the children, when they were going for this, they were afraid of the leeches. I clearly remember that many of the children, they were very scared about the leeches, and they were asking me, what should we do about that? And I think some of them even came with leech socks and all. So that is a kind of fond memory now. So now let us hear Lakshmi speak about the floral diversity. That is basically the plants in that area. So over to you, Lakshmi. You can speak about that.
Yes. Ma'am, is the slide visible?
Yes, Lakshmi.
So I will be speaking. I'm Lakshmi Vinod from 10 Iris, and I will be speaking about the flora of the Myristica swamp. So we'll begin from how the name Myristica came, and we'll go all the way to the major plant species, the unique adaptations, and the generally interesting facts. So how the name Myristica came. The Myristicaceae family is actually a pretty rare family, which is confined only to the Myristica swamp, and the swamp we visited had an abundance of the species belonging to the Myristicaceae family, which is why it was named as the Myristica swamp. And as my friends have already mentioned, one of the main characteristics is that both evergreen and deciduous type of forests or trees are found in the same region, which is actually pretty rare. And moving on to the major plant species, the main plant species that we came across were these two plant species, and this is the first one, which is a berry-like plant, and this is the second one, which we will be mentioning later on the slide as well. So these two species are actually not found that commonly in any other regions, and they belong to the Myristicaceae family. And how the trees there are very special. Why they are special? They are special because these swamps are actually waterlogged for 6 months in a year. And as you can see, this is a picture from when we visited the swamp, and the ground is completely waterlogged. And the roots, as Radha, my friend, has already mentioned, they have mainly 3 kinds of roots specialized to adapt to these conditions. The first one being the knee roots, which basically are shaped like a knee, which is how the name came into play. And this is a closer view. Then we have the stilt roots, which reach a height of up to 6 meters even. And these two mainly help in breathing when the ground is waterlogged. And this is the last type of adaptation, which is the rhizome, which is basically like a tuber found underground, which helps in breathing as well. Then you have the seeds. So I had previously shown the picture of a special kind of plant found here. So this is the plant, and actually this seed covering that you can see helps the seed in floating on the water, and it prevents it from drowning, and if it drowns, it actually dies. So this is their main adaptation. Then we have the canopy. Here, as you can see in this picture, they don't have a completely covered canopy, but it's a fairly dense canopy. And in the middle layer, you cannot see too many trees because they don't receive enough sunlight, and the sunlight directly goes to the ground, which is why you can see many shorter plants. Then, yes, here also you can view the canopy, and these were the generally very, very interesting plants and characteristics that we found in the swamp. This is the largest legume in the world, and we actually came across this in the swamp, and we were all very surprised. It was really huge. Then mushrooms. There is actually only 9 species of this particular genus found in India, and 4 of them have been found in the Myristica swamps. So we were also very lucky to see that. Then beyond the flora, as Mithun has already mentioned, there were crabs and honeycombs also found. This was the crab we saw, and this was the honeycomb. Then we have that there are 65 tree species and 72 species of shrubs found there, which is quite a lot for such a small area of land. And this was a very interesting journey, and I will always be thankful for this. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So that was Lakshmi with the flora. So with that, we have come to the end of the presentations. Now Aisha will be sharing her experience because we were asked to present these three, that is the physical character, flora and fauna. So we have covered that, and now Aisha will be talking to you about the experience that she had. Okay, over to you, Aisha.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, all. I'm Aisha Azir, and I'm here to share about our experience. It was a wonderful experience. So, it's almost been a year and a half since we visited the Myristica swamps in the Konkan coast, which is an unforgettable memory until now. Myristica swamps is one of the few existing hotspots in India, and we were very lucky to visit it in its full glory. We saw the things that we haven't seen in our entire life. At a young age, being able to visit such a beauty was indeed a blessing. Seeing the evergreen forest, the swampy soil, and most prominently the breathing roots of the Myristica species was very interesting, and it made us ponder more about it. We came across different species of animals and plants, and we consider ourselves lucky as we were able to encounter endangered birds. These encounters incited curiosity among us. We also got a glimpse of the pure and raw lives of the tribes residing near the swamp, and this experience enabled us to connect with them. Then we had the trekking and the river crossing, which was thrilling, and it was one of the highlights of our trip. And it brought an aura of wilderness to our adventure. So right now it's the pandemic outbreak, and we are all locked up in our houses without any social involvement. We are not being able to get out of our house. And in this present day, I treasure our trip to Myristica swamps, and it will cherish within us more than anything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. So that kinds of summarizes that presentations about that. So like the children were saying, it was indeed a very, what do you say, unforgettable thing. And sometimes, you know, the journey is more important than the price. Okay, we may be doing many projects and we may be hoping for the price, but then I think the journey, as one parent actually said, that the journey was the price. So like Aisha was saying, in this pandemic, we are all inside our houses. We are not even allowed to come to school to see each other. And at that time, I think it was such a blessing that we could go and, you know, see that. And I think this present batch, the 10th batch, they didn't even get the chance for a tour or for a field trip, nothing. So you can count the blessing that you could go for this. Okay, so thank you, WWF Shivkumar sir, again for the chance, and thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity for sharing this also. Okay, over to you, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Already we had seen the real experience of your own schoolmates bought from the Myristica swamps of Protubra Forest. And I would like to just ask one question to, I think Lakshmi has presented about the plants, no?
Yes, sir.
You showed that largest legume, no?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you mention his name?
Sir, I wasn't able to come across the name. I think, sir. Yes.
I missed it somewhere. Got it? No?
Sir, it's just a bean pod. It's the
Yeah.
largest of its type.
Actually, that's Entrada. Its scientific name is Entrada scandens. Okay, that is the largest legume of the world. Entrada scandens, and in Malayalam we will call it as Paranakya. Okay, the local people who are the Kani tribes who came with accompanied us during the field trip, and those people call this as Parandaka in Malayalam, and its scientific name is Entada scandens, and it's a indicator species for the riparian vegetation where water is abundant. Okay. So I think your schoolmates will have definitely will have some doubts or clarifications so that they can put it in the question answer box. Anyone?
For participating, other than the presenters, if you have anything to ask, you can type the question in the question answer section. Then we can answer that as much as possible. Dylan has asked how many days was the visit. It was just a one-day trip. It was just a morning we went and evening we came back, Dylan. Yes. Was there the largest mushroom, somebody has asked? And I don't think so. Shivkumar sir, you will be better in answering that.
No, we didn't came across the largest mushroom, but most of the mushrooms we had encountered were larger ones.
Dylan has again asked about what is stilt root. Stilt root is the different root that you saw that is like diagonal roots that is seen in some plants for supporting. Okay, I think you have studied this in grade 6 biology. And I can answer the question in class more clearly, Dylan. Anyway, you are in my class, I can answer that. Yes. Okay, yeah. Anybody else?
A wonderful question has come. How to prevent the leeches?
How to prevent leeches? That is the question that most children have, sir.
See, we are going to going for a mission to explore the Myristica swamps. Whenever the evergreen forests are wet, there will be the leeches. So face them with a strong mind and enjoy them. And one very interesting fact is that while these small creatures, the leeches, bites you, they will inject an enzyme called hydrogen into your body just to prevent the clot for the ease of its sucking. Okay, so for each and every time you are getting a bite from a leech, you are getting that much vaccinated from the heart attack. That means it prevents your block, arterial blocks in future. Okay, so I think persons like me, we have encountered thousands of leech bites, but even right now also even my cholesterol content is pretty high. I am still alive. So preventing leeches means because that is also part of the Myristica swamps and evergreen forests, and but we can do we can apply salt, then that in Malayalam it is called as Mukkipadi, the tobacco powder, and some people uses Dettol, and some people uses soap and in some Kani tribes I had seen they were using the ash. So whatever that will disturb the creature that can be used as a repellent for leeches. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. There is more questions about are leeches, centipedes, and all common in the area. Yes, I think it is common, right?
Yes, yes, they are common.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are common. And is there more species apart from the presentation? Obviously, there will be. We have only covered a little. That is
Definitely.
what I feel. Yes. There are many species of crabs in the rainforest, right? Which species did you come across? Sir, I think that will be a question for you. Actually,
Yeah.
we were also very surprised to see a crab in the forest. We were also always associating crab with a seashore, and we were also very surprised to see that. Okay.
Yeah, because that particular type of habitat, the Myristica swamps, that is particularly being a wetland, crabs are integral part of that particular habitat. So it will be there, and it's a what to say? It's a particular habitat of crabs also. Even some crabs, they can climb over trees, and they can live in the small holes of the trees also. In Malayalam, it is being called as Maranjanda. Since they are അവരെ മരത്തിൽ താമസിക്കുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് അവരെ മരഞ്ഞണ്ട് എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. So such species are also there. Then lot of questions are coming up now.
Yes, sir. It is usually all associated with the leeches. Is leech poisonous? Then why do leech suck blood? So leeches are not poisonous as far as my knowledge is concerned, and leeches suck blood because that is their food. Okay, just like mosquito bite is for sucking our blood, it is the same thing. Leeches also use our blood as their food. And as sir was saying, it is not harmful actually. Even I have got bitten with leeches many times when I have gone for trekking, and I'm not scared of leeches, so there was no problem. But then there was some itching after that, but then there is no problem. Actually, you will not be aware of the leeches. Only when I came home, and then only I discovered that I was bitten by a leech. I thought that leech has not bitten me. But then when I came home only, I discovered that there is a wound and leech had bitten me. So like that, it's you won't even know it actually. People are very much scared of this. Okay. Then the ones we saw were not poisonous. Okay. Is it true that if we apply salt, it will go? Yes, it is true. If you apply salt, it will go because the leech, it is very moist skin it has. So if you apply salt, it cannot breathe properly, just like earthworms. So, did any of the insect bite it?
Teacher, I will supplement a little bit along with this question.
Yes, sir, please. Yes.
Yes, normally leeches have a moist skin, which performs the function of an integument, which, as teacher mentioned, that is the breathing mechanism or organ for them. Since that breathing is getting disrupted by any means, like salt, soap, or whatever it is. So by that way, the leech itself is being killed. So that's the action behind that. That's it.
Another question is, are tribes living in that area? Yes, there were some tribal people. Yes.
There's a colony called Potomawa colony, which is very near to this particular Myristica swamp we have visited. So somebody were asking about a bigger animals or something like that. Exactly, these Myristica swamps. Myristica swamps are a very good habitat for elephants because even in the peak summer, the minimum humidity as well as water content will be there in the Myristica swamps. So that's a very good habitat for elephants, and it is we have to take extra caution while visiting the Myristica swamps, especially during the summer season.
Yes, Let me add to that. I think we had planned about going to Myristica swamp in May or something. Then Shivkumar sir said that if we go there, we will become bald for the elephant. I remember that. I had asked him to go in May. So then he was saying that it is very dangerous if you go in May. Probably the elephant will play ball with you, football with you. So there is so that is why we planned in July when the water is more plentiful. Sir was saying that the Myristica swamp, it has got that water, so the elephants will be coming to drink the water. And if we go in April or May, then there is more chance for you to have an encounter with the elephant, which is not a very desirable thing. So that is why we went in July. There are other questions coming about tigers and all. I don't know about tigers. There are no tigers there. Okay.
Yeah, except lion, most of our wild animals are there. Okay.
Actually, we did not. We saw a deer. The deer had just ran very fast that we couldn't take a picture, but then we did see a deer. And the monkeys we did not see. I think there was questions about monkeys also, but then actually we saw a hornbill. I remember the hornbill. It was a very big hornbill also. So. Were there snakes is another question. Luckily, we didn't see any snake.
Yeah.
Definitely, there will be snakes in the forest, but then we didn't come across that.
But I would say, unfortunately, we didn't encounter with any snakes, because that was a very big loss for the team to encounter with the snake. Okay, because otherwise they could have sighted a snake also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think most of the children are curious about such things, about what is the kind of animals that you see and all. Okay.
So then just pray for a COVID-free world, and once the things are back to its normal condition, we will have a trip to this Myristica swamp, and you can enjoy it.
Definitely, we are all looking forward to at least coming back to school, and then we can plan for this. I'm definitely missing trips like that, sir. I'm sure you are also missing that. I'm definitely missing.
Not only you, yourself, all of us are missing, because normally, in normal case, monthly at least I will have 2 trips to forest somewhere else, but that also is missing now. Okay, any more interesting questions are there?
Somebody is asking what were the common trees found in the forest?
Please.
Abhimanyu is asking.
Yeah, no, actually, now I will come to the conclusion. Actually, we have, according to Champion and Seth classification, we have a 28 type of species in our Western Ghats. And out of this 28, this Myristica swamps is one of the very special microhabitat, and which is also an endemic Western Ghats endemic habitat. The thing is, normally for the low-lying evergreen forests, there will be a convergence. In many of the places, there will be a convergence. Wherever these convergence areas are coming, the water usually get locked there. But since the area is becoming a waterlogged area, the amount of oxygen within the soil will be very less. So only, just like the pneumatophores of mangrove trees, the roots of these trees of these Myristica swamps also will grow like pneumatophores on a anti-geotropically. The thing is, the main important part of the Myristica swamps is that particular point, and along with that, the majority of the plant species found in these Myristica swamps are belong to Myristica family. നമ്മുടെ ജാതിയുടെ ഫാമിലിയിലെ അതിന്റെ they are most of the to the family Myristica. So only it got the particular name called Myristica swamp. Even in Malayalam also it is called as Myristica Chaduppa because that it was named by Chamin and Sith during their classification. So that is the crux of the Myristica swamps. So as you asked, the main trees are the wild species of the Jadika. Jadika means the spice we already use in our masala and all. For,
Nutmeg.
yeah, nutmeg, actually. Nutmeg. It's the wild species of the nutmeg family will be there. Predominantly, there will be the major tree species found in the Myristica swamps. Okay, clear?
That's a very interesting question for you. How to join WWF for a job? It's from a grade 8 student. How to join WWF? Yeah, it's from a grade 8 student, Keshav. How to join WWF for job?
Yes, sir. You do one thing. Now you have to learn very well, and after your 10th, 12th, and select the science part, and go for wildlife related activities or something, courses or something like that. A lot of wildlife courses are there, and I think right now you are in 8th. By that time, there will be very immense chances for opportunities there will be there in WWF India. WWF India will be announcing all its vacancies in its website, so you can go for the website, and by then if you are supposed to be a part of WWF, definitely you can be part of WWF. Otherwise, now also you can join with WWF, not as an employee, as a volunteer. You can be with WWF for all our activities. Okay.
Let me add to that. I hope you have. You can join. There is a online platform called as the One Planet Academy. So if you join that, you can subscribe to it, and there is a page where they say what kind of jobs you can have as an environmentalist or a wildlife biologist and all that. So you'll get an idea of what kind of subjects you need to study and how you can be part of this field. And then they post there, or if you visit the WWF website, they always post job opportunities on their website, and you can also subscribe to their newsletter. You can understand like that. Thank you.
Oh, there's
What kind of questions?
Wonderful question is coming. What tribes did you diagram? Tribes earlier in Trivandrum and Kollam district, we have only one kind of tribe called Kanika, and they are simply on their ancient days. They were living, keeping a life totally isolated from our modern people. But now nowadays they are very familiar with all of us. They also have all facilities that we are using, including internet, WhatsApp, and everything. So we can very frankly speak to them, even in Malayalam. Normally, the ancient people of this Kani tribe, they will be using a language mixed with Tamil. So that will be a little bit difficult for us to understand. Otherwise, they know Malayalam and everything, so we can easily interact with them. Okay, I think we have given enough answers. Okay. Okay, Nidhi, what about you?
Yes, sir. Actually, I think most of the questions about the leeches and everything, if you want, you can ask me in the class also, my students, or you can even message me. So I think that's about it. So you have been given a flavor of the forest by this presentation, I hope. The ones who didn't get the chance to go and experience that just like we did also could see some of it by this presentation, I hope. And like Shivkumar sir is saying, let us all hope that this COVID pandemic is over and we can come back to school and we can go for trips like this. And thank you everybody for joining, and thank you WWF for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, all my dear kids. Okay, see you in the post-COVID time, and let us pray for that. And we will definitely we will go for exploring the mysterious swamps called mysterious swamps. Okay, okay, thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.